This audiobook is a calm winter story set inside a quiet wooden cabin, surrounded by falling snow. The setting is simple and steady, guiding the mind into ease through plain descriptions of sound, warmth, and silence. The story moves slowly, beginning with soft breathing and gentle awareness of the body, then shifting into scenes of snow-covered paths, warm firelight, and peaceful rooms prepared for rest. Each detail is described with care to create a steady rhythm, from the sound of crackling wood to the faint scent of pine carried through the air. The story continues with quiet reflections on safety, gratitude, and stillness, always returning to the calm atmosphere of the cabin. The purpose is to create an environment of rest, where the listener can relax, release tension, and allow sleep to arrive naturally as the narration fades into silence. Chapter 1. Begin with slow breaths, and soften your shoulders and jaw. Begin with a quiet focus on the rhythm of breathing, each inhale and exhale, flowing with ease. Shoulders softening as the weight of the day fades, the jaw releasing its tension until the face feels calm and still, the whole body responding to the gentle call of rest. The air feels cool yet comfortable, and with each breath, there is a sense of quiet settling in, as if the world outside is already slowing down. Breathing continues in this soft, steady rhythm, guiding the body into deeper comfort, while the mind becomes less busy and more open to the simple images of the evening. The calm is steady, unhurried, a gentle beginning to a long night of rest. Imagine now a quiet winter scene, a stretch of land covered in fresh snow that lies smooth and white across the ground. And in the center of this calm space stands a small wooden cabin. Snow continues to fall in soft flakes from a pale sky, moving slowly and settling gently on the ground, the trees and the roof of the cabin. The scene is silent, except for the faint sound of snow landing, almost too quiet to notice, yet enough to remind that the world is wrapped in peace. The cabin stands sturdy and welcoming, its wooden frame softened by the layers of snow, and from its windows a faint glow suggests warmth waiting inside. Notice the path that leads to the cabin door, a narrow track lined with fresh snow, untouched and soft. Each step forward presses into the snow with a muted crunch, the sound clear but calm, carrying no urgency, only the steady movement of walking at an easy pace. The cool air touches the skin gently, the smell of clean winter drifting through, and the path feels safe and steady, guiding slowly closer to the cabin's door. The sight of the glow through the window becomes clearer, promising a quiet space away from the cool night air, and each step brings a calm sense of arrival. The door opens without effort, and stepping inside is like moving into another world of comfort. Warm air meets cool cheeks and softens the skin, filling the chest with a steady sense of ease. The temperature is soothing, not heavy or overwhelming, only calm and gentle, a balance that brings the body into relaxation. The shift from the outside air to the warm inside is comforting, the kind of simple change that makes the body rest more deeply, while the eyes slowly take in the quiet interior of the cabin. In the main room, a fire rests within the stone fireplace, its flame moving quietly without force. The crackle is soft and rhythmic, a faint sound that blends into the silence of the cabin, making the room feel alive yet restful. The scent of pinewood drifts into the air, mild and steady, filling the space with a natural calm. The glow of the fire casts a soft light that rests on the walls and floor, shaping the room into a calm and welcoming place. The flicker of orange and gold moving slowly, never sharp, always soft. With the warmth and the fire surrounding the space, the body is invited into deeper rest. Hands loosen without effort, shoulders sink lower, and the back feels supported by the stillness of the room. The weight of arms and legs grows heavier, as if the ground is welcoming them into comfort. Breathing slows more naturally, and the chest rises and falls with little effort, the rhythm steady and calming. The body feels no need to hold tension, No reason to hold on, only a quiet surrender to the safe space around it. Walking further into the cabin, each room holds its own gentle sense of peace. A small room shows shelves with simple books resting neatly, their spines lined in soft colors, waiting quietly. Another corner holds folded blankets, their textures soft, ready to be placed over a resting body. Chairs rest near the walls, strong yet simple, each one inviting without demand. The air carries warmth into every space, and the floor underfoot feels firm but gentle, carrying each step with ease. The cabin holds no clutter, only the simple comforts of a place built for rest and quiet nights. As the rooms are seen one by one, thoughts shift toward gratitude. There is warmth where once there was cold, stillness where once there was movement, and safety within these wooden walls. The presence of the fire, the strength of the cabin, and the quiet of the snow outside combine to create a place that allows the body and mind to let go. The sense of being held gently by surroundings brings calm awareness of how simple it can feel to be safe, to be comfortable, and to be still. The gratitude does not need to be spoken or forced. It rests naturally, like the snow outside rests quietly on the earth. Near the window, a chair offers a place to sit and remain with the view. Settling there brings the eyes to the scene outside, where snow continues to fall steadily from the sky. Each flake moves without rush, finding its place on the ground or the trees, the motion constant yet quiet. The sound is faint but steady, blending with the silence of the night. From the inside, the cold no longer reaches the skin, only the sight remains, a picture of the world slowed and softened. Watching the snow fall becomes a rhythm, one flake after another, each one adding to the peace of the scene. The eyes grow heavier, while the fire continues to glow softly. Breathing deepens again as the air in the cabin stays warm and calm. The snow outside falls without pause, the sound of its silence blending with the quiet crackle of the fire, until both are part of the same steady background. The body feels fully at ease, shoulders low, hands still, and the rhythm of the heart slow and calm. Thought becomes lighter, drifting like the steady fall of snowflakes, until the edges of awareness blur gently into rest. The cabin holds its warmth, the snow continues to fall, and the night moves forward without demand, carrying the listener deeper and deeper into sleep. Chapter 2. Imagine snow falling softly outside a small wooden cabin. The night feels calm and open, inviting the mind to slow down and welcome rest. As the picture of snow begins to take shape in clear detail, outside in the stillness, snow drifts from the wide sky, each flake following its own quiet path as it settles toward the ground. The air holds a soft chill, yet it is not harsh, only clean and steady, moving through the trees and across the land in silence. In the distance, there is the outline of a wooden cabin, its roof already layered with a smooth blanket of white, its walls strong against the winter air. The scene carries no rush, no demand, only a steady rhythm of falling snow, simple and calming to watch, as the world becomes more still with every moment. The cabin sits gently among tall trees, whose branches bend slightly under the weight of the snow. Around the building, the ground is covered in a soft white layer that glows faintly in the dim light of the evening. A faint breeze moves through the trees, stirring the branches just enough for a few flakes to drop more quickly, but the overall quiet returns immediately. It is the kind of silence that feels natural, as though the land itself is resting. The wooden walls of the cabin stand solid, dark in contrast to the snow around them, with light showing faintly through the small windows, suggesting warmth within. The snowfall continues at a steady pace, each flake landing without sound, building gently on rooftops, branches, and the untouched ground. The sky is pale, heavy with more snow to come, yet calm in its stillness. Every flake seems to find its place without disturbance, creating a surface that is smooth and even. The air is crisp, carrying the fresh scent of winter, with hints of pine from the nearby forest. There is no sound of traffic, no voices, only the natural quiet that winter nights often hold, a quiet that brings the mind into balance with the slow rhythm outside. Moving closer in thought to the cabin, the structure shows more detail. Its door is framed with simple wood, the grain showing through the steady aging of time. Small windows are slightly frosted around the edges, with faint golden light spilling through, hinting at the warmth of a fire burning inside. The roof slopes downward, carrying the weight of snow comfortably, with icicles forming along the edges where faint warmth escapes. Around the base of the cabin, the snow rests deeper, untouched by steps, holding the shape of the land beneath. The snow continues to fall in silence, but with close attention, there is the faintest sound of flakes brushing against each other as they touch the trees. It is a nearly imperceptible sound, a whisper that comes and goes, reminding that the air is alive, even in its stillness. Each breath drawn into the lungs feels pure, cool, but gentle, clearing the mind with its freshness. The skin senses the cold air, yet it does not sting. Instead, it wakes the body into awareness of the present moment, a feeling of being outside in the heart of winter. The trees around the cabin stand tall and steady, their trunks dark against the white ground, their branches lined with snow. Some branches hold small clusters that fall in soft piles when the weight grows heavy, landing with a muted thump that quickly blends back into silence. Others hold their flakes more carefully, creating a lace of white above the cabin and the path that leads toward it. Looking upward, the sky is wide and open, the falling snow appearing endless, as though the night has all the time it needs to cover the land in rest. The cabin gives the impression of shelter, a place to step into when the air grows colder, a place to rest while the snow continues outside. From the outside, the glow of its windows brings reassurance, a quiet reminder that warmth exists just beyond the door. The thought of entering feels natural, yet standing outside to take in the view carries its own calm reward. The contrast between the chill of the air and the suggestion of heat behind the walls creates a balance that holds the attention in peace. With each passing moment, the snow on the ground grows deeper, filling the spaces between trees, smoothing over rocks and uneven earth, making the land look gentle and whole. Every corner of the scene is softened by this covering, creating a quiet landscape where everything blends together. The path to the cabin is visible but narrow, lightly marked by the way the snow rests differently along its edges. It seems ready for steps that will eventually press into it, though for now it remains untouched. The evening deepens slowly, the light of the sky shifting from pale gray to a deeper shade. As night approaches, the glow of the cabin becomes more pronounced against the darkness, the snow around it reflecting just enough light to keep the scene clear. The atmosphere is still steady, still soft, without disturbance. Time itself seems to slow in this place, each second stretching long enough for the snowfall to be noticed, for the quiet to settle more deeply. The body feels calm in imagining this, the mind sinking into the steady rhythm of the scene. Thoughts soften along with the air, drifting like the flakes themselves, one after another, without need for direction. The cabin remains at the center of the scene, solid and warm, while the snow continues to fall gently outside. Every detail, from the texture of the wood to the glow of the light and the smoothness of the ground, contributes to the sense of calm. The night holds steady, carrying the snow down from the sky to cover the land, while the cabin stands as a quiet part of the landscape, a place of peace among the trees. The mind continues to rest here, unhurried, balanced, and ready for deeper sleep. Chapter 3. Notice the quiet path, fresh snow crunching under gentle steps. The sound of each step has a gentle rhythm that soothes the mind, a calm reminder that even the smallest movements can carry peace when taken slowly. The path stretches forward, soft and white, resting under a layer of snow that has only just fallen. The air is quiet, the stillness almost complete, yet the crisp sound of snow pressing beneath careful steps brings life into the silence. Each press of the foot sinks slightly, the flakes compressing with a subtle crunch that feels both grounding and steady. The sound does not disturb the air. Instead, it adds to the calm, a soft punctuation in the open night. The path winds gently between tall trees that frame the way, their branches bowed under the weight of snow, their outlines dark against the pale ground. No rush is present, no urgency drives the walk, only the calm experience of moving forward at an easy pace. The snow on the path is fresh, untouched except for these steps, and it gives a sense of being the first to walk here, the first to notice the stillness that rests across the land. The crunch beneath each step is steady, repeating but never harsh, a sound that belongs naturally in the quiet night. The air around the path is cool and clean, moving lightly across the skin, bringing a sense of refreshment with every breath. The scent of pine drifts faintly from the trees, blending with the pure crispness of snow, a combination that feels balanced and natural. The world is hushed, as though everything has paused to allow this simple walk to take place without distraction. The sound of snow underfoot continues at its quiet rhythm, a soft reassurance that movement is steady and sure. Looking down, the path glimmers faintly in the dim light, each flake reflecting what little brightness the sky gives. The steps leave clear prints, small impressions that mark the way, but will soon be covered again as snow continues to fall. Behind, the trail tells the story of the walk, each mark resting gently on the ground, while ahead the way is untouched, smooth and waiting. The rhythm of walking, the slow pace, and the muted sound of crunching snow create a harmony that brings the body into a deeper state of rest. The forest around the path holds its own stillness, the trunks rising like quiet guardians, unmoving in the cold air. Their branches extend overhead, creating soft arches where flakes settle and gather. From time to time, a cluster loosens, sliding down with a faint sound before landing quietly on the ground. These moments do not interrupt the calm. Instead, they blend with the natural rhythm of the walk, adding gentle variety to the steady pace. The night remains undisturbed, holding only the soft sounds of snow and steps. Breathing grows deeper with each step, lungs filling with clean air that feels light and refreshing. The body grows more relaxed as the walk continues, arms hanging loosely, shoulders at ease, and the spine aligning naturally with the gentle rhythm of movement. There is no strain, no effort beyond what feels natural, only the simple act of walking forward through the snow. Each crunch beneath the feet confirms presence in the moment, a physical reminder of moving slowly and steadily, one step at a time. The snow along the edges of the path is deeper, untouched by any movement. It builds against rocks and fallen branches, forming smooth mounds that look soft in the dim light. The path itself remains narrow but clear, as though it has been shaped by time to guide footsteps easily through the forest. The crunch of each step is slightly different, sometimes sharper, sometimes softer, depending on the thickness of snow, and these small changes bring subtle variety without breaking the calm. Every sound is part of the larger silence, a silence that feels protective and complete. The air cools slightly as the walk continues, but it never bites. Instead, it brings clarity, sharpening the senses enough to notice every detail of the path. The faint glow of snow reflects against the trunks of trees, giving them a quiet presence. The breath seen in the air drifts away in small clouds, fading quickly into the night. Each exhale carries with it any remaining tension, leaving the body lighter and more open to rest. The crunch of snow continues, steady and reassuring, the anchor of the journey. Farther along, the path curves slightly, leading between two tall evergreens, whose branches stretch overhead. Snow drips lightly from their edges, tiny flakes brushing against the path as they fall. Passing beneath them feels safe, almost like moving through a natural archway. Beyond, the path widens slightly, opening into a small clearing where the snow looks untouched and smooth. Each step into this open space deepens the sound of crunching, as the snow here lies thicker, absorbing more of the weight. The sound is muffled but still steady, softer now, blending more deeply into the silence. The body feels calm, mind drifting between awareness of the walk and the soothing pull of rest. The rhythm of steps is unchanging, each crunch matched by the next, forming a pattern that the mind grows accustomed to. Nothing needs to be controlled, nothing needs to be planned, only the act of noticing each step and each sound as it arrives. The path continues forward, winding gently through the snowy landscape, and every movement along it draws the body closer to ease, the mind closer to quiet. The walk is not toward a destination, but into a deeper state of peace, each crunch of snow carrying the journey forward into stillness. Chapter 4. Enter the cabin and feel warm air. Meet cool cheeks. The door opens with ease, and the first rush of warmth flows out like a gentle welcome, touching the skin of the face and softening the coolness left by the winter air. The contrast is immediate and comforting, the cheeks tingling slightly as the heat embraces them, reminding the body that safety and rest are near. Crossing the threshold feels like entering a world designed for calm, a place where every element has been shaped to hold stillness. The air is heavier inside than outside, but not in a way that weighs down. Rather, it carries the sense of being wrapped in something steady, something that protects and soothes. The floor beneath the feet is wooden, firm and smooth, carrying the weight of steps without complaint. It holds a faint warmth that rises from the room, and the sound of shoes pressing against it is soft and natural. The air moves lightly within the space, carrying with it subtle scents of wood, smoke, and warmth, blending into an atmosphere that feels whole. The shift from the outside chill to the inside comfort continues to settle across the skin, relaxing the muscles that had been tightened against the cold. The body accepts the change naturally, adjusting to the gentle embrace of the cabin's shelter. The space inside glows with a steady light, not harsh or bright, but warm and inviting. Shadows fall softly across the walls, lengthened by the flicker of firelight. Each movement of the flame sends subtle waves of light and shade across the room, a rhythm that is both unpredictable and soothing. The ceiling beams stretch overhead, sturdy and solid, their surfaces darkened by age but still holding strength. The wooden walls carry a faint scent of pine and resin, a reminder of the forest outside, yet softened by years of use. The warmth of the room settles deeper into the body with each breath. The cheeks, once cool, now feel restored, the blood moving freely beneath the skin. The hands, stiff from the cold, begin to loosen as the air surrounds them with comfort. The chest feels lighter, rising and falling with more ease, as though the cabin itself encourages deeper breaths. The sense of being inside, away from the winter air, becomes more vivid with every moment spent in this place. The sound of the outside world fades once the door closes. No longer does the faint crunch of snow or the silence of the forest dominate the senses. Instead, there is the quiet crackle of firewood as it burns slowly in the hearth. The sound is steady, unhurried, and gentle, adding life to the otherwise still room. Occasionally a log shifts and releases a faint pop, but the rhythm always returns to its calm pattern. This sound fills the air without overwhelming it, resting easily in the background as the room offers its comfort. The warmth is not only in the air but also in the way the space is arranged. A small rug lies near the entrance, its fibers soft and worn from use, providing a gentle surface for the feet to rest. A chair sits close to the fire, its cushions shaped by many evenings of quiet sitting, ready to hold the weight of a resting body once more. Shelves line part of the wall, filled with objects placed with care, folded blankets, simple books and small wooden bowls. Each item has its place, creating a sense of order that supports the calm of the room. The cabin's air carries more than warmth. It holds the history of the space, the faint aroma of wood smoke has settled into the walls over time, combining with the natural scent of the pine boards to form something unique and familiar. It is not sharp, not heavy, but balanced and steady, reminding anyone who enters that this is a place meant to hold people in comfort. Every breath taken here seems to slow the pace of thought, allowing the mind to drift into the rhythm of the space itself. The warmth moves gradually through the body, first into the face and hands, then into the arms, chest, and shoulders. Muscles that once held tight against the cold begin to loosen, dropping their tension into the safe atmosphere of the cabin. The body begins to feel heavier, yet not in a burdensome way, more in the sense of being held supported by the air and the room's quiet strength. The warmth encourages stillness, reducing the need for movement, creating a natural pause in the rhythm of the day. The windows of the cabin show the outside world faintly, the snow still falling beyond the glass. Yet inside, the cold cannot reach. The separation is clear. The glass carries a thin layer of frost around its edges, but within the frame, the glow of firelight reflects softly, making the room feel even more secure. The knowledge of the snow outside falling endlessly only makes the warmth inside more complete. It is the difference between exposure and shelter, between tension and rest, and the body recognizes this difference immediately. As the warmth continues to spread, the mind drifts into a slower pace. Thoughts no longer rush or press forward. They unfold gradually, as though they too are affected by the calm of the room. Attention lingers on the simple details, the texture of the wood beneath the fingertips, the pattern of the flames shifting in the hearth, the way the light falls across the floor. None of these details call for analysis. They simply exist, and noticing them becomes its own form of rest. The cheeks, now fully warmed, no longer hold the sting of winter's chill. The skin feels relaxed, the expression softened, the jaw light and free. The body stands or sits more easily, supported by the stillness of the room. The contrast between cold and warmth has faded now, replaced by a consistent comfort that fills the entire space. The cabin has offered what it holds: safety, quiet, warmth, and the body has accepted it completely. The stillness continues, without interruption, the fire burning steadily, the walls standing firm, the air remaining balanced. The night outside may deepen, the snow may continue, but within the cabin, time moves differently, slower, more patient. The mind accepts this slower rhythm, letting go of urgency, resting more fully with each passing moment. Nothing is asked of the body here except to be still, to rest, to notice the simple comforts that surround it. The air remains warm against the cheeks, the contrast with the outside world now a distant memory. The cabin has given its welcome, and within its shelter, peace continues to grow. Chapter 5. Describe the soft fire crackle and faint scent of pine. The comfort of the cabin deepens as the sound of the fire becomes the center of attention, a quiet yet steady presence that carries the whole room into ease. The fire does not roar or demand attention. Instead, it offers a gentle crackle, a sequence of small sounds that rise and fade in natural rhythm. Each piece of wood settles slowly into the hearth, releasing its warmth with patience, while faint sparks shift and dim without disturbance. The sound is never harsh, never sudden, always soft enough to blend into the silence, yet distinct enough to remind that something alive rests nearby, steady and calm. The fire's glow creates a feeling of balance, its light falling in gentle waves across the cabin walls. Shadows stretch and return as the flames shift, making the space feel as though it is breathing in quiet harmony with the sound. The air closest to the fire carries a mild heat, not overwhelming, but soothing, reaching into the body in small waves that relax the muscles and loosen what tension remains. The warmth spreads slowly outward, touching the floor and the air, shaping the entire room into a space that encourages stillness. The faint scent of pine drifts through the cabin, weaving with the smoke of the fire to create an aroma, both grounding and light. It is the scent of freshly cut logs stacked nearby, their resin slowly releasing as they rest, waiting to be used. The fragrance is not sharp, but steady, carrying a clean quality that matches the freshness of winter air outside. With each breath, the pine settles deeper into awareness, calming the senses and linking the space to the forest beyond the walls. The air feels complete, holding both the warmth of burning wood and the freshness of pine. The sound of the fire changes slightly as time passes. A log shifts within the hearth, releasing a low pop before settling again into stillness. Smaller sparks rise and fade quickly, barely visible, yet their brief existence adds texture to the experience. The crackle is soft but layered, like a quiet conversation that carries no urgency. Every moment brings a new sound, but each one is part of the same calm pattern, reminding that the fire is alive, but gentle, steady, but always changing. Breathing in the cabin becomes slower as the scents and sounds blend together. The faint pine aroma rests in the chest, with each inhale, light and clean, while the warmth of the fire seems to move inward as well, loosening the body further. With every exhale, the chest empties easily, releasing tension into the steady rhythm of the fire's crackle. The act of breathing feels supported by the room itself, as though the fire and pine-scented air are guiding the body toward deeper rest. Looking toward the fire, the wood glows faintly beneath the flames, its surface shifting from dark to ember red. The edges crumble slightly, turning into ash that gathers slowly at the base of the hearth. The process unfolds without haste, reminding that even in burning, the fire moves at its own patient rhythm. The glow from the embers is soft and steady, carrying a deeper warmth than the flames above. Together, flame and ember create a complete picture of calm energy, one bright, one steady, both blending into the room's gentle atmosphere. The scent of pine grows more noticeable as the fire continues. The wood releases more of its fragrance when warmed, carrying hints of resin and earth into the air. The smell lingers without force, subtle but present, like a quiet companion that stays close without speaking. Each breath through the nose brings the pine deeper into awareness, a grounding detail that keeps the body present in the moment. Combined with the warmth and the sound, the scent makes the cabin feel whole, every sense engaged yet resting. The mind begins to drift with the fire's rhythm, following the soft crackle as though it were a guide. The sound repeats without becoming monotonous, each moment slightly different from the last, holding attention without holding it tightly. Thoughts loosen, no longer sharp, but soft and slow, like the embers glowing at the base of the fire. The faint scent of pine anchors those drifting thoughts, giving them a place to return when they wander too far. The combination creates a balance, sound, smell, warmth, that supports rest without effort. As the fire continues to burn, the cabin holds its warmth, and the body grows heavier in relaxation. Shoulders drop lower, hands rest more loosely, and the head feels lighter, as though gravity itself is softer in this space. The quiet sound of crackling and the gentle aroma in the air surround the body, wrapping it in calm without pressure. Every detail is simple, clear, and soothing, designed by nature to slow the body into peace. The night outside remains untouched, snow falling steadily, but inside the fire and pine make a world of their own. It is a world of warmth, scent, and sound, where the body can rest and the mind can release all effort. Nothing more is required than to notice the soft crackle, to breathe in the faint fragrance of pine, and to remain still in the safety of the cabin's glow. The room holds steady, the fire moves gently, and the air remains pure and balanced, guiding the body further toward rest and the mind deeper into sleep. Chapter 6. Guide your body to rest, loosening hands, shoulders, and back. The true comfort of this quiet evening begins with allowing the body to soften. releasing the weight it has carried through the day and surrendering to the stillness of the cabin. The warmth in the air encourages every part of the body to relax, and with slow awareness, attention is guided toward each area, loosening what has been held tight for too long. The hands are the first to notice this change. They have worked, grasped, and held throughout the hours, and now they are free to rest. Fingers uncurl easily, palms open without effort, and the heaviness of the hands becomes clear. Resting in the lap or by the sides, they feel supported, no longer needing to move, no longer needing to grasp, simply being still in the comfort of the space. The shoulders, often carrying more than is noticed, begin to lower as the warmth and quiet air surround them. The muscles that once pulled tight across the back now loosen, their weight sinking slowly downward, as though settling into a natural position they had been waiting for. The tension that has lived in the shoulders throughout the day disperses, melting away into the calm atmosphere of the cabin. With each breath, the shoulders grow lighter, dropping more deeply, reminding the body that this is a time for release, not effort. The back, stretching from the base of the neck to the lower spine, receives the same gentle guidance. Each segment of muscle along the back unwinds, releasing the stiffness of holding posture for hours. The warmth in the cabin eases into these areas, softening them gradually, not rushing but steadily encouraging relaxation. The back begins to feel supported, whether leaning against the chair, resting upright, or lying down. The sense of being held allows the muscles to stop resisting, to stop carrying weight, to stop pressing forward. They simply release, moment by moment, into the calm space around them. The rhythm of breathing grows deeper as the body releases more fully. Each inhale draws in warmth and calm air, filling the lungs without strain, and each exhale carries away the tension, the fatigue, the remnants of effort that are no longer needed. The chest rises and falls naturally, like the quiet movement of the fire nearby, steady and unforced. This breathing spreads ease into the body, guiding it toward a slower rhythm, preparing for rest that reaches into every corner of being. The arms follow the hands and shoulders, softening in their weight, no longer holding themselves upright in tension, but allowing gravity to carry them downward. The elbows rest, the wrists sink into stillness, and the arms as a whole begin to feel heavier, more anchored, more at peace. The legs too begin to join in this rest, the thighs loosening against their surface, the calves softening, and the feet grounding into quiet stillness. Each part of the body follows the same natural path, moving from effort to ease, from holding to releasing. The face reflects this shift as well. The small muscles that tighten without thought around the eyes, across the forehead, around the mouth begin to smooth. The jaw, once tense, remains light and free, no longer clenched. The eyelids grow heavier, sinking with the weight of the night, and vision becomes softer, more blurred, more willing to close. The entire face reflects the body's change, the release of effort replaced with the calm expression of rest. Every part of the body now begins to feel heavier, yet it is a heaviness of comfort, a heaviness that signals release. The weight is not burden, but grounding, as though each muscle, each limb, is finding its natural place and choosing to stay there. The stillness is not forced, but welcomed, a reminder that the body was designed to rest when the environment allows it. The warmth of the cabin, the faint crackle of the fire, the subtle scent of pine, all of these details combine to create the environment that the body needs to let go. As the body loosens, the mind begins to follow. Thoughts drift more slowly, no longer rushing to keep pace with the day, but stretching out, lengthened by the calm of the space. Awareness shifts from the busyness of memory and planning to the simple noticing of what is present, the sound of the fire, the air in the lungs, the weight of the body settling into stillness. Each thought becomes less sharp, less demanding, and soon they fade into the background, leaving space for quiet. The entire body now feels connected to the rhythm of the room. The hands rest heavy, the shoulders low, the back supported, the breath steady. This alignment allows the body to feel whole again, not divided by tension, not scattered by movement, but unified in stillness. The cabin provides the setting, but the body has chosen to follow, guided by its own natural wisdom, toward rest. The process requires nothing more than allowing it to happen, nothing more than being present with each gradual release. In this state, the body prepares for deeper rest, not the quick rest of a brief pause, but the lasting rest of sleep. Every detail in the room supports this: the warmth that keeps the body at ease, the quiet crackle of the fire that gives sound without distraction, the scent of pine that anchors each breath. These elements hold the body like a gentle frame, reminding it that everything is safe, everything is still, and everything is ready for the next step into complete rest. The body no longer needs to move, no longer needs to hold, no longer needs to do anything but remain exactly as it is, heavy, calm, and safe in the quiet cabin. Chapter 7. Walk through each room, noticing blankets, books, and calm corners. The comfort of the cabin reveals itself more deeply when moving gently from one room to the next, noticing each quiet detail and allowing the atmosphere to shape the mind into stillness. The first space entered beyond the main hearth is simple and small, yet filled with warmth that reaches every corner. Along one wall, blankets are folded neatly, stacked in layers of wool and cotton, their surfaces soft to the touch and ready to be drawn around the body on a cold night. The sight of them alone gives a sense of reassurance, the knowledge that warmth can always be extended, that comfort has been carefully prepared. The patterns on some are plain, while others carry faint lines of color, each different yet all sharing the same purpose of rest. A low shelf sits near the blankets, and on it rest several books with covers worn from use. Their spines show faded lettering, yet each one holds stories and words that have been read many times, filling the quiet evenings with calm. The books are not arranged perfectly, but with a certain care that suggests they are valued. Their presence in the room adds to the sense of timelessness, the idea that hours can pass slowly here with nothing to do but read softly by firelight. The paper inside holds the faint scent of age, and the bindings creak gently when opened, yet they remain strong, carrying their stories forward. Moving further, the next room reveals a chair placed in a corner, angled toward a small window. This space feels designed for quiet reflection, a calm corner where one can sit for as long as needed. The chair's cushions have softened with time, shaping themselves to the form of those who have rested there before. Beside it sits a small wooden table, its surface smooth, carrying only a lamp and a small carved bowl. The light from the lamp is steady and soft, casting a circle of glow that falls directly across the chair and floor, creating a space that feels private yet open, secure yet free. Another corner holds a simple desk, its surface wide and clean, marked by faint scratches from years of use. On it rest a few more books, some left open, along with a pen and paper. The desk is not cluttered, but holds enough to suggest quiet thought, gentle writing, or a moment spent sketching the shapes of the world outside. A chair rests tucked beneath, ready to be pulled out with ease. The space feels balanced, neither busy nor empty, offering the possibility of slow activity if desired, but not pressing for it. Walking deeper into the cabin, the next room opens with a larger rug stretched across the floor. Its fibers are thick, soft beneath the feet, creating a sense of grounding. In the center of the space, around it, cushions are placed against the walls, arranged in a way that invites sitting, reclining, or simply lying down to listen to the quiet. This is another calm corner, a place that seems to have been created for nothing more than stillness. The air here is slightly cooler, farther from the fire, but the blankets nearby and the softness underfoot make the room feel complete. Against another wall rests a cabinet, its shelves holding simple items that carry their own calm presence. A stack of wooden bowls, a few cups of clay, and a teapot sit waiting, clean and ready. The arrangement suggests that tea could be prepared here, poured slowly into cups and sipped while sitting quietly on the rug. The thought of this brings another layer of comfort, not in the act itself, but in the possibility the knowledge that rest is always within reach. Another corner of the cabin holds a small bed, low to the ground and covered with thick layers of fabric. The blankets here are heavier, arranged neatly across the mattress, their surfaces catching the firelight from the open doorway. A pillow rests at the top, plump and inviting, shaped by many nights of use. The bed feels like the natural destination of the evening, a place prepared for complete release, where the body can sink fully into sleep without effort. The presence of the bed in its corner adds to the overall calm of the cabin, reminding that every part of this place has been made for rest. As each room is visited, the air seems to shift slightly, carrying different balances of warmth and quiet. The main hearth holds the strongest glow, while the smaller spaces further from the fire are cooler but equally welcoming. Each room holds details that make it unique: blankets in one, books in another, a quiet chair, a simple desk, a bed prepared for sleep. Yet all of them share the same atmosphere of care, the same sense that nothing is rushed, nothing is forced, and everything is held in calm order. The footsteps moving through the cabin are steady and light, pressing softly into the wooden floorboards that creak faintly with age. The sounds echo slightly in the smaller rooms, then fade again when the space grows wider. The air carries the same faint blend of pine and wood smoke, though in each room it takes on a different quality, shifting with the arrangement of furniture and the presence of items that have been used and cared for over time. The atmosphere feels layered, with every room adding to the whole, making the cabin feel like more than just walls and roof, but like a complete world of rest. Returning to the main space near the fire, the memory of each room lingers. The folded blankets promise warmth. The books suggest calm evenings filled with words. The corners invite stillness. The bed holds the possibility of deeper rest. Together, these details create the sense that the cabin has been shaped for one purpose alone: to provide safety, comfort, and quiet. Each space contributes its own piece to that purpose, and walking through them allows the body and mind to gather each layer, adding them together until the calm feels full and complete. The cabin, with its rooms and corners, has given its quiet gift, and the body responds by sinking further into rest, preparing for the deeper stillness of the night. Chapter 8. Invite quiet thoughts of gratitude for warmth, safety, and stillness. There is a special kind of peace that grows when the mind slows down enough to notice what is present, and the heart begins to fill with quiet gratitude for the simple comforts surrounding it. The cabin offers warmth that reaches into the body, wrapping it in steady calm, and it is easy to feel thankful for this gentle heat that replaces the sharpness of the winter air. The safety of these wooden walls is clear, holding back the cold and the wind, creating a haven where nothing presses or demands, where every moment can unfold at its own pace. Stillness settles into the air, and with it comes the awareness of how rare and valuable such quiet truly is. A quiet that does not need to be chased but simply accepted. Breathing becomes deeper when gratitude is invited in. Each inhale drawing awareness of warmth, and each exhale releasing tension into the still night. The lungs fill with clean air that carries faint traces of pine and smoke, and with that breath comes a reminder of being cared for by this space. The body feels safe enough to let go because the environment offers all that is needed: protection, comfort, and calm. In this atmosphere, the heart softens, no longer guarded, allowing a gentle appreciation to rise, a natural response to the ease that the room provides. The warmth of the fire feels different when seen through gratitude. It is not only heat, it is a gift of energy, a steady presence that keeps the body soft and relaxed. The small sounds of wood shifting and the low glow of embers are no longer just background. They are part of the reason for the deep sense of peace that fills the cabin. Gratitude flows easily when attention rests here, when the fire is acknowledged not just as flame, but as comfort that makes this night possible. Safety is another gift that becomes clear in these moments. The world outside may be wide, cold, and silent, but within these walls, there is no danger, no need for alertness. The door is strong, the windows firm, and the walls hold back the winter with quiet strength. There is reassurance in knowing that nothing is required but rest, that this place has been built and shaped to protect. Gratitude rises for that protection, for the chance to lie back without worry, for the knowledge that the body and mind are free to surrender completely. Stillness is perhaps the most precious gift of all. Outside the cabin, the snow falls endlessly, soft and quiet, blanketing the land in silence. Inside, this stillness is mirrored in the air itself, where no noise interrupts, no movement disturbs. It is a rare kind of calm that allows thoughts to settle naturally, drifting into slower patterns, opening space for rest. Gratitude for this stillness grows, as it is noticed, as the absence of noise and pressure makes way for something deeper, contentment that needs nothing added to it. The body feels the effect of these quiet thoughts. The chest grows lighter, as appreciation fills the space where tension once lived. The muscles, already softened by warmth, release more deeply when gratitude is acknowledged. The mind, once busy, now turns its focus toward what is present rather than what is lacking. Each layer of gratitude invites more release, more softness, more peace. It becomes clear that the act of being thankful is itself a form of rest, a way of telling the body and mind that all is well. Eyes begin to close more easily when gratitude is the focus. The weight of the eyelids grows natural, not forced, as the body leans into the comfort that has been given. There is no resistance left, no urge to hold on to wakefulness. The mind drifts between awareness and release, guided by thoughts of warmth, safety, and stillness. Gratitude itself becomes a kind of lullaby, repeating softly with each breath, reminding the heart that everything needed is already here. The sense of time fades in this state. Minutes may pass, but they no longer carry weight or urgency. The night deepens outside, yet inside, the experience remains steady, unchanging in its calm. Gratitude anchors the awareness, keeping it rooted in the present moment, where nothing more is needed. The fire burns, the air holds warmth, the walls give safety, and the stillness remains unbroken. This is enough, and gratitude for this enoughness allows rest to deepen further. The quiet thoughts expand beyond the cabin itself, stretching gently into awareness of the larger world. Gratitude arises for the snow that falls steadily, covering the ground with silence. Gratitude extends to the trees that stand outside, tall and strong, shaping the forest into a protective circle. Gratitude includes the night sky that holds everything under its wide, steady presence. Even without being seen directly, these elements are felt, and their role in creating this moment is clear. Each one contributes to the calm, and each one is worthy of thanks. As the body continues to sink into rest, gratitude becomes softer, no longer formed into words, but simply felt as a quiet fullness in the heart. The warmth feels closer, the safety more complete, the stillness more profound. Gratitude is no longer separate from the experience, but woven into it, inseparable from the rest that is unfolding. In this space, there is nothing more to do, nothing more to think, nothing more to notice, except the gentle presence of peace itself. And with that presence, the body drifts closer to sleep, carried gently by the calm gratitude that fills the air. Chapter 9. Settle by the window and listen to steady falling snow. There is a unique calm that unfolds when the body finds a place by the window, where the quiet view of the night opens wide and the falling snow becomes the only sound worth hearing. The chair rests close to the wooden frame, its surface cushioned and inviting, positioned so the body can settle easily and remain without effort. As soon as the seat is taken, there is a natural pause, a slowing of thought and movement, as if the act of sitting by the window is enough to signal that the night belongs to stillness. The glass holds a faint layer of frost at the edges, but the center is clear, revealing the outside world as it quietly transforms under the steady rhythm of snow. The sound reaches the ear, not in sharpness, but in whispers, a soft and nearly invisible presence. It is not the kind of noise that interrupts. It is the kind that becomes part of the background, blending with silence until it feels like silence itself. The flakes meet the ground in patterns too subtle to trace, yet their descent carries its own music, a delicate consistency that the mind begins to follow. Listening to the snowfall is like listening to time itself slow down, each moment stretching just long enough to be noticed before fading into the next. The sight outside the window is equally soothing. Snow drifts through the air at an even pace, not hurried, not stalled, just steady in its path downward. It covers the branches of trees with layers that glow faintly against the dim sky, and it rests on the ground in soft mounds that grow a little higher with each passing moment. The roof of the cabin's porch is lined with white, and the landscape stretches out beyond, softened into gentle shapes. No edge is sharp, no line is harsh. Everything is smooth, even and calm under the touch of the snow. Breathing becomes deeper as attention stays with the scene. Inhaling brings the faint coolness of the window glass close to the face, though the body remains warm inside. Exhaling releases into the rhythm of the falling snow, as though the breath itself joins the descent of the flakes outside. The lungs fill and empty, in harmony with what is seen and heard, and this quiet rhythm deepens the state of rest already building within the body. The air in the cabin feels lighter when paired with the openness of the view, as though the space expands to meet the vastness outside. Hands rest easily in the lap, fingers relaxed, no longer needing to hold or move. The back leans against the chair in comfort, and the head tilts slightly toward the window, making the posture natural and unforced. The weight of the body is carried fully by the seat, so that no muscle must hold tight. In this position, listening becomes effortless, and watching becomes enough. The sound of snow and the sight of its fall are the only things happening, and both are perfectly simple. The longer the gaze remains fixed on the outside, the more details begin to emerge. Small flakes drift close to the window, larger ones fall more slowly through the air, and some seem to gather together before touching the ground. The trees sway only slightly, their branches strong yet softened by the layers of snow. The ground reflects faint light upward, brightening the night without harshness. The horizon is blurred by the snowfall, but instead of closing off the view, it creates the sense that the world extends infinitely, a soft continuation that never ends. Listening more closely, the sound of snow becomes richer. It is not only the faint tap against the window, or the almost silent landing on the ground. There is also the muffled hush of flakes piling on top of each other, the nearly hidden shift of weight as branches adjust to their burden. These small sounds blend together, and once noticed, they form a texture that is soft yet steady. It is a sound that does not rise or fall, does not demand attention, but simply continues, providing the mind with a constant anchor for rest. The warmth inside contrasts with the sight of the cold outside, and the balance of the two makes the experience even more comforting. The cheeks sense the faint coolness of the window pane nearby, while the body remains embraced by the air of the cabin. This contrast sharpens awareness of safety, reminding that the elements can be observed without being endured. The gratitude for this safety deepens when paired with the view, and the body sinks even further into its resting place. Time seems to dissolve as the listening continues. Minutes pass unnoticed, and the rhythm of the snow replaces any thought of hours. The body feels heavier, the eyelids grow lower, and the mind begins to drift between wakefulness and dreams. The snow does not stop, and in its endless falling, it creates the perfect background for sleep. Its sound is gentle enough to soothe, yet steady enough to remain constant, a presence that lingers even as awareness begins to fade. The moment becomes complete when the body no longer separates itself from the scene. There is no boundary between inside and outside, no distinction between breath and falling snow, no difference between the warmth of the cabin and the hush of the night. Everything blends into one calm experience, unified by stillness, Sitting by the window has become more than an action. It has become a state of being, a place where the body is safe, the mind is quiet, and sleep arrives as naturally as the snow continues to fall. Chapter 10. Drift into sleep as narration fades to gentle nighttime silence. The beauty of this night is that it holds nothing more to be done, no task waiting, no thought demanding attention, only the simple invitation to drift away into rest as silence deepens. The cabin has already given its warmth, the fire has already shared its gentle glow, and the snow outside continues to fall without pause, creating the perfect rhythm for the body to release itself fully. Now there is only the soft edge of sleep drawing closer, wrapping around each breath, guiding awareness toward the quiet horizon of dreams. The body grows heavier in its resting place, every muscle already loosened, every joint already supported. The weight feels safe, anchored in stillness, the kind of heaviness that signals not burden but release. The arms rest without effort, the legs sink into their position, and the head is cradled by the space it has chosen. Nothing needs to shift, nothing needs to adjust, because the body has already found its comfort. From this place, sleep rises naturally, unforced, arriving gently like the falling snow that never stops. Breathing slows more than before, steady and deep, each inhale lasting a little longer, each exhale carrying away the last fragments of wakefulness. The chest rises like a calm tide, then lowers into quiet stillness. Over and over again, the rhythm is steady, dependable, as though the body has settled into its own music that only it can hear. The sound of breath becomes a companion to the night, blending with the hush of the fire and the silence outside, until it is no longer noticed at all, only felt in the depth of peace it creates. The mind drifts in soft patterns, no longer holding to sentences or detailed images, only fragments of thought that dissolve as quickly as they appear. A shape of a tree may rise, then fade. A sound remembered may echo faintly, then disappear. These fragments do not stay, they simply pass through, each one softer than the last, each one fading faster into the background. Thought becomes lighter, less defined, until there is only awareness of comfort, warmth, and rest. The eyelids, already heavy, begin to close fully now, no longer able to lift against the weight of the night. Darkness behind them is soft, not empty, but filled with the faint impressions of drifting shapes and colors that move slowly, without meaning. The mind accepts this darkness as a signal of safety, and the body follows, surrendering completely. The world outside the window continues its endless snowfall, but inside the cabin, silence takes over, carrying the listener deeper into the space where sleep waits patiently. The fire has grown quieter, the crackle softer, as though it too has decided to rest. Embers glow steadily, giving a final warmth that no longer demands attention, only reassures with its gentle presence. The air in the cabin is perfectly balanced now, warm enough to hold the body in ease, cool enough to prevent heaviness. Every sense has been satisfied, the eyes with the glow of light, the ears with the faint sounds of night, the skin with the softness of warmth, the lungs with clean air. With each sense at peace, there is nothing left but stillness. The silence becomes more noticeable as awareness drifts lower. It is not the silence of emptiness, but of fullness, the kind that holds everything steady without needing to say anything. The snow outside continues to fall, but its sound is distant now, blurred by the boundary between wake and sleep. The fire continues to breathe faintly, but its rhythm is so soft that it becomes part of the silence itself. In this silence, the body feels completely safe, and the mind finally lets go of any remaining grasp on wakefulness. Sleep begins to take hold gently, not sudden but gradual, like a door opening wider and wider until the passage is complete. The body slips across the threshold, carried by the rhythm of breath, by the warmth of the air, by the absence of thought. It is not a sharp change, but a smooth fading, a merging of waking rest into sleeping rest. Awareness becomes thinner, softer, until it is no longer needed, until the body continues on its own, without guidance. The cabin remains steady, the night remains quiet, and the snowfall remains endless. They will continue even as sleep deepens, their presence unbroken, their calm unshaken. The safety of this space means nothing will intrude, nothing will disturb. The body can stay heavy, the breath can stay slow, the mind can stay quiet, while the world outside moves at its own pace. In this knowledge, sleep becomes complete, and the night gives itself fully to rest. Now silence takes over fully, the narration no longer needed, because the body has already been guided, the mind has already been calmed, and the path into sleep has already been found. The voice fades as naturally as the fire dims, leaving only the gentle weight of nighttime stillness, where nothing more is required, and where deep, unbroken rest continues until morning arrives.